Whatever. What is up, guys? Sam from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the first community meta blitz concept that I'm seeing in Madden 22. But before we get into the video, please do me a quick favor. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and also take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Madden YouTube channel. Now, the first community meta blitz that I'm seeing right now in Madden 22 is basically a defensive end nickel corner looping pressure from depth. This is a little bit different than stacking your nickel corner on the edge like we used to do in the past. So if you guys remember the big dime 146 meta or dollar, basically any type of pressure package in which you just stack this corner on the edge, basically EA is making it really tough for those concepts to work. So basically, if you go down here, the offensive line is pretty psychic and they go get it, right? Now, obviously sheds and things can still happen, but the initial pickup of that concept is working as EA intends. Now, that didn't completely shut down the ability to bring pressure with your slot corner. So I want to go ahead and show you guys a setup out of the nickel 335 odd. And I actually threw this in the vault on my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Gameplans is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our vault update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available, much like the one you're seeing right here, that are being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan released on the website while your subscription is active, and we'll be getting our Madden 22 game plans up on the website in pretty short order. But for right now, the vault is popping, and I'm going to show you this tip out of the vault. So what we're going to do is we're going to crash our defensive line up, and we are going to basically stack a blitzing slot corner and then contain. And this is going to require that you move him until his angle changes into a contain. I think that EA kind of did this on purpose. I don't know why, but we're going to set up a little bit of a pressure here. This could be done sending 4. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stack yourself behind this nose tackle. And if you do this correctly, I would recommend holding the strafe button, which is the L2 button on your controller. And this is going to help with making sure that that guy comes around. Or just, as you see right there, stacking that guy behind the nose tackle really helped with the setup there. So right there, I wasn't even clicked onto that linebacker and ended up working for us. So again, I'm going to show you how I did this. I'm going to crash the defensive line up. You may need to crash up twice, as defensive line crashes aren't really registering consistently right now. That should be patched by EA in the not too distant future. But you could do this out of nearly any formation, right? So right here, for instance, I'm going to put this guy as my user, and I'm just going to stand behind this player right here, and I'm going to hold strafe to pull that player to the inside, in which case we should get the looping pressure around the end. Right there, it was able to recover, which is going to bring me to my next point. Blitzing the user actually is a little bit better of an option. You saw right there that I tried to do that from zone. So I'm going to go ahead and do this again now. This time, I'm going to go ahead and blitz my user and do the same concept. So if you're having trouble with consistency of this, so are a lot of pros, and it's because you want to make sure that you're blitzing this user so he occupies that gap. And then I just like to hold that strafe button, and you see how it basically causes either the looping pressure to come in or B gap disengage. This is the tweak that I made to this setup, just because I think that it adds that element of you're either getting the guy looping around, or if they pick it up, that defensive end will be shedding in short order to basically put the quarterback on a timer. So again, I'm going to show this to you, kind of stack him right there. Make sure he's in a contain angle. You can rush 4 if you want. And then I just like to slide in towards the A gap and just kind of, hold strafe, occupy that player. You see right there that, you're going to end up with a disengage through the middle, and you're actually in contained defense, which is nice. So, it's either coming in clean, or you're going to have So it's either coming in clean, or you're going to end up having a shed by a defensive end pretty quickly. Now, this position right here, number 93, Jones, this is a guy that would be a great candidate to put one of your better shed type players at this spot. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to sub out Von Miller, and I'm going to put in just literally anybody. It doesn't matter at this point. And I'm going to put Von Miller at that defensive end spot. This is going to help when this blitz gets picked up, having Von instantly shed or honestly just come through the B gap clean during that pass off logic. So let's go ahead and do this again. This time I'm going to call play like cover 3 sky show 4, and we're going to do this again against bunch. I think this is a great bunch blitz because you can mix up your pressure of trying to disguise this blitz with actually putting this guy in zone. So again, right here, we'll go ahead and set it up like so. So in this setup, we're going to have Von Miller passed off to the right guard, and he's going to have an opportunity to potentially come in clean during that pass off, or he's going to get such a great angle that he's going to be able to shed pretty quickly. So again, you're going to see right here, we could play a hard flat style coverage and cover the right seam ourselves here. So this is going to give you a great opportunity for Von Miller to disengage coming through the middle. Now, I've been doing more of a 4-man variation on my setup in which I'm rushing just the front 3 plus the 4th rusher, and then blitzing my user right here. If this is something that's not consistently coming in for you, don't fret. If you want to send the outside linebacker that we're dropping into zone on the left on this as well, that will definitely free this up to make it very, very consistent. Of course, that'll come at the expense of the zone coverage, which is not so great in the game right now, but I would anticipate changes will be coming from EA in the form of the patch. But again, right here, you kind of see how this goes. Get that looper to come in, and we are free to the quarterback. Again, if you want to rush 5, that is advisable. Again, you just want to make sure that you're crashing up a couple times to get that 2 gap in the middle, and then you kind of just hide out over this player right here. Again, I'm kind of blitzing my user. You can crash down, put this guy into a flat if you want. I think the name of the game right now is mixing up where your zones are. Obviously zones are bad, so you have to kind of confuse your opponent and send pressure. But again, right here, you see how this works. Free rusher, disengage, nose tackle came in as well. Looks pretty good for a 5-man rush against 5 blockers. Again, spread your line, crash up again to make sure it registers. QB contain, slide this corner right here until his angle changes, and then kind of mug this gap. Again, you're going to see right here, you're going to get the looper. There's the nose tackle disengaging. Like I said, you're going to get the looper, you're going to get a disengage through the middle pretty darn consistently on this setup. Now, again, it doesn't have to just be out of, any one play. Cover 3 sky show 4. It doesn't have to be out of just cover 3. You could do it out of man. You could do it out of Tampa 2. You could do it out of cover 4. It's kind of up to you. Now, guys, this is just one community meta blitz. This is something that you're seeing a lot right now online out of various sets. Nickel 335 odd, nickel 245 odd, nickel 335 normal, dollar type formations. People are trying to do this concept out of everything right now. And the key is honestly where you're standing. I see a lot of players that kind of hang out here, and that just causes the right guard to retarget and help pick this up more cleanly. You have to stand here, which is a drawback to this. I'm going to be honest. It is a drawback. Zones are so bad that any defense where you have to stand in a certain spot is a little bit of a risk. But again, if you're rushing 5 on this, you should very, very consistently be getting pressure right there. That's a nose tackle, a gap. Again, depending on your front 7, who is where, the pass off logic is going to squeak guys in through the gaps in a little bit different fashion. The breakdown on the website, the roster I used had the Von Miller spot coming in every single time. In this situation, very, very, very clear that Von Miller is a priority for the offensive line, and that's causing our nose tackle to come in. Again, all you have to do right here is kind of just stand over that nose tackle and just wait for the disengages to occur. And you see right there, Von Miller off of his, and we're going to get to the quarterback. Now, if your opponent blocks the running back, you start to get into some other pickups where we honestly on the website have blitz setups exactly out of the nickel 335 that are going to allow you to be able to confuse the running back when he's blocking and bring pressure, whether it's off of the same edge or from different spots on the field. So make sure that you guys are checking that out on gridirongameplans.gg. I do want to make sure that there's a little bit of a disclaimer. Blitzes this year, they're good. They're definitely good. They're probably more consistent than any other year, but it's been a while since we had a Madden where one setup always gets pressure 100% of the time. Smarter offensive linemen, higher awareness, higher play recognition is going to cause the offensive line to slide and pick things up better. So make sure you're mixing up your pressure looks and not falling in love with blitzes. I think that's one of the most catastrophic things you can do as a defensive player right now is run the same thing every single play. But again, this is a great blitz. You could run it as a 4-man variant and be pretty cute. You could send 5 and be pretty darn sure it's going to come in. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below. I love hearing from you guys, even when you're mean to me. Definitely let me know what you guys think of this video, and check out Gridiron. If you guys like this blitz, there's a lot more out of the nickel 335 odd on Gridiron Gameplans in our vault from the first week of the game. So go check it out. We'll see you guys on Monday. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and get luck.